Demolitions, a spectacle of power and precision, can sometimes turn into a disastrous spectacle of failure. Welcome to the unpredictable world of demolitions, where things can go from orderly to chaotic in a matter of seconds. This isn't your everyday construction job. It's a dance with danger, a tango with the unpredictable. Each demolition is a high-stakes game where the margin for error is razor-thin. What makes it so unpredictable, you ask? Well, it's a myriad of factors. The age of the structure, the materials used, the weather on the day, and even unforeseen structural modifications can all turn a well-planned demolition into a headline-making disaster. Safety, precision, and meticulous planning are the three pillars of a successful demolition. Safety is paramount, not just for the team on the ground, but for everyone in the vicinity. A lack of safety measures can turn a controlled demolition into a dangerous event, putting lives at risk. Precision, on the other hand, is about ensuring that the demolition happens exactly as planned. It's about hitting the sweet spot, the critical point that brings a massive structure down in a controlled manner. But even with the most advanced technology and experienced professionals, precision can sometimes elude us, leading to unexpected outcomes. And then there's planning. A successful demolition isn't a spur-of-the-moment decision. It's the result of weeks, if not months, of careful planning. Engineers pore over blueprints, conduct multiple site visits, and perform complex calculations to ensure that the demolition goes off without a hitch. But even the best-laid plans can fall apart in the face of the unpredictable. So, as we prepare to plunge into the world of demolition failures, keep in mind that it's not all about the spectacle. It's about the immense risks that come with the territory. It's about the brave professionals who face these risks head-on, striving to ensure that each demolition is a success, despite the unpredictable nature of their work. As we delve into some infamous demolition failures, remember, it's not just about the spectacle, it's about the immense risks. Our first stop on this journey of demolition disasters is the Royal Canberra Hospital in 1997. Picture this: a sunny day in July, the air filled with anticipation as spectators gather to witness the planned implosion of the Royal Canberra Hospital. The hospital, which had served the community for many years, was to be replaced by the new National Museum of Australia. But as the countdown to detonation reached zero, the spectacle turned into a nightmare. The implosion, instead of collapsing the building inwards as planned, sent a rain of debris hurtling outwards. A shockwave of dust and rubble spread out, striking the crowd of onlookers. The air, once filled with excitement, was now filled with screams and panic. The debris injured several spectators, and tragically, a 12-year-old girl lost her life. In the aftermath of this horrifying event, an investigation was launched to determine what had gone wrong. The inquiry revealed a shocking lack of safety measures. The exclusion zone, intended to keep spectators at a safe distance, was woefully inadequate. Despite the inherent risks of building implosions, the crowd was allowed to gather too close to the site. Furthermore, the explosives used in the demolition were found to be in excess of what was necessary. The sheer force generated by the explosion was far beyond what the plan had accounted for. This miscalculation resulted in the deadly shower of debris. The Royal Canberra Hospital implosion disaster served as a wake-up call for the demolition industry worldwide. It highlighted the dire consequences of overlooking safety protocols and the importance of meticulous planning in demolition projects. Laws were tightened, safety measures were heightened, and the industry took a hard look at how it could prevent such a tragedy from happening again. Yet the incident remains etched in collective memory as one of the most disastrous demolitions gone wrong. It stands as a stark reminder of the power of explosives, the unpredictability of demolitions, and the devastating impact of human error. A tragic reminder of what can go wrong when safety is compromised. Fast forward to 2005, the Zip Feed Mill in South Dakota gives us another example of a demolition gone awry. The Zip Feed Mill was once the tallest building in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, standing proudly at 200 feet. A behemoth of concrete and steel, it was a testament to the city's industrial might. But as the years passed, the mill outlived its usefulness, and the decision was made to bring it down. A demolition plan was drawn up with meticulous care. Engineers calculated the precise amount of explosives needed, the exact locations for the charges, and the safest direction for the building to fall. It was a textbook example of careful planning and precision engineering. It was supposed to be a controlled demolition, an orderly end to an era. But as we're about to see, even the best-laid plans can go awry. On the day of the demolition, as the countdown reached 0 and the charges were detonated, the zip feed mill didn't fall. It leaned. It leaned like a skyscraper swaying in a strong wind, teetering on the brink of collapse but refusing to come down. The engineers were stunned. This wasn't the controlled demolition they'd planned. This was a 200-feet-tall question mark, a towering testament to the unpredictability of demolitions. The leaning mill became an unexpected landmark, a symbol of a demolition gone wrong. It challenged the engineers to rethink their plans, to figure out how to bring down a building that refused to fall. They had to reassess, re-strategize, and reattempt the demolition, all while ensuring the safety of the surrounding areas and people. The zip feed mill misstep is a reminder that demolitions are not just about blowing things up. They're about careful planning, precision engineering, and the ability to adapt when things don't go as planned. But perhaps the most important lesson from the zip feed mill is this: demolitions are unpredictable. No matter how carefully you plan, no matter how precise your calculations, there's always a chance that things won't go as expected. A miscalculation that turned a planned demolition into a leaning disappointment. Now, we travel back in time to 1985 to the Broadwater Farm Estate in London. In the heart of North London, the Broadwater Farm Estate was a community on edge. Tensions were high, and on one fateful night in October, a riot broke out. In the chaos, a group of rioters took to one of the estate's tower blocks. Armed with nothing more than sheer determination and raw emotion, they began a demolition process that was far from planned. The tower block, a massive structure of concrete and steel, was not designed to withstand such an assault. And yet, it was now subject to the uncontrolled demolition efforts of an angry mob. The rioters were not demolition experts. They did not have the training or the tools to safely bring down such an enormous structure. Their actions were driven by anger, not by a well-thought-out plan. But as they chipped away at the tower block, they triggered a catastrophic chain of events. The tower block began to crumble. The structure, weakened by the uncontrolled demolition, could no longer support its own weight. Concrete and steel rained down on the estate, causing extensive damage to surrounding buildings and turning the riot into a disaster zone. But the destruction of property was not the only consequence. The uncontrolled demolition posed a serious risk to human life. In the aftermath of the riot, it was clear that the actions of the rioters had put their own lives, and the lives of others, in grave danger. The Broadwater Farm riot serves as a stark example of the risks of uncontrolled demolitions. It underscores the importance of careful planning, expert knowledge, and the right tools when it comes to bringing down structures. And it highlights the dangers that can arise when these elements are absent. Demolitions, even when planned and executed by professionals, are inherently risky. But when they are carried out in an uncontrolled manner, those risks multiply exponentially. The Broadwater Farm riot, with its partial demolition of a tower block, is a testament to this. A stark reminder that uncontrolled demolitions can quickly escalate into dangerous situations. Our last stop is in recent history, the year 2020, in the small town of Vordingborg, Denmark. Here, a towering silo, a once prominent figure in the landscape, was scheduled for demolition. However, the day didn't go as planned. Instead of collapsing inward as intended, the silo stumbled awkwardly and collapsed in the wrong direction. The result? A local cultural center, a cherished hub of community life, bore the brunt of the miscalculation, suffering significant damage in the process. This incident underscores the crucial importance of accurate calculations in demolition projects. A slight error in the angle or the distribution of charges can lead to disastrous consequences, as was the case in Vordingborg. It's a stark reminder that the art of demolition is a precise science, demanding meticulous planning and execution, a costly error that reminds us of the precision required in demolitions. As we've seen, demolitions are a high-risk, high-reward endeavor. Let's take a moment to revisit the cases we've examined. Each one underscores the unpredictable nature of demolitions and the potential dangers lurking should anything go awry. In the case of the Royal Canberra Hospital implosion in 1997, instead of the building collapsing inward, debris was propelled outward, with fatal consequences. This tragic event demonstrates the necessity of accurate calculations and secure safety perimeters. Without these, debris can become unpredictable projectiles, and the results can be deadly. Next, we turn to the zip feed mill disaster in 2005. The structure, instead of crumbling to the ground, ended up leaning precariously, defying gravity. This misstep highlights the importance of understanding the structural integrity of the building and the force required to bring it down. Without this knowledge, one might end up with an unstable structure, posing a danger to nearby areas and people. The Broadwater Farm riot in 1985 is another stark example of how demolitions can stir up social unrest. The planned demolition of a housing complex, already a contentious issue, led to violent protests, turning the area into a battleground. This case underscores the need for careful planning and community engagement before proceeding with any demolition. And let's not forget the silo stumble in 2020, where the structure fell in the wrong direction, crushing a cultural center. This mishap underlines the necessity of precise calculations and contingency planning. Even a slight miscalculation can lead to the structure falling in an unintended direction, causing collateral damage. Each of these incidents brings to light the inherent risks and dangers associated with demolitions. But they also highlight the importance of safety measures, careful planning, and precise calculations. Adequate safety measures can minimize the risk of injury or death. Careful planning can ensure that the demolition proceeds smoothly and without causing social unrest. Precise calculations, meanwhile, can prevent the structure from falling in an unintended direction or remaining upright when it should have collapsed. It is crucial to remember that demolitions are not just about bringing down a building. They are about doing so in a controlled and safe manner. They require a deep understanding of engineering principles, meticulous preparation, and a respect for the power and unpredictability of these structures. Demolitions are a testament to human skill and precision, a display of our ability to control and manipulate our environment. But they are also a reminder of our limitations and the potential consequences when things do not go according to plan. So the next time you watch a building being brought down, remember the complexity and risks involved. Remember the skill and planning required. And remember the potential for disaster if anything goes wrong. Remember, demolitions are more than just a spectacle. They are a testament to human skill and precision, and when things go wrong, the consequences can be disastrous.